Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. I'm Francisco, and I'm here with my nerd mate, Andres.
Hey.
Hey, it was a tough weekend dealing with major FOMO. We try to recover from all the latest news from this past Comic Con, and there was a lot of shit. A lot of Marvel stuff that we need to cover. So beware, get ready, and buckle up. Let's start the show. Hey, my bro Chacho, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm juiced up from all this Marvel
Are you?
stuff I'm looking at.
Dude, it's too much. It's too
It was a lot.
We're not gonna be able to get into every last detail of everything. So we're just gonna give a big overview, I think, of just the basics and the stuff we're really interested in. And some of the shit's like 3-4 years away. So relax if we get some stuff wrong.
Calm down. Right? Just let's take a breather, guys. I mean, I had to change my panties, but it was to hear some of these news, but it's still a few years away.
Yeah, we got some time. All right, man. Let's start digesting.
All
You
right.
want to start?
Okay, Comic Con news extravaganza. Marvel dropping some bombs. They dropped the new Wakanda Forever trailer.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's just go straight into that because I mean that is the thing that everyone is just was anticipating, I think, and they gave it to him. And dude, first impressions.
I loved it. I loved it. I love the music. I'm excited for it. To be honest, I was not the big. I just thought Black Panther was a mid movie before. You know, it wasn't like my favorite Marvel movie. But I'm excited. They built the world, and now we're gonna see where they take the world. It's unfortunate, all the tragic news with Chadwick Boseman.
Man,
so it's gonna be tough, man. And I just hope that they pull it off because I know that this movie means a lot to a lot of people, and that I can't understand what that means. You know what I'm saying, like representation wise. So I just hope it does well, and I hope it's done right and they stick to their values and what they want to show. And I'm excited for it. What about you, buddy?
I wasn't sure what to expect. I'm like, man, they have huge shoes to fill. Huge. And with you, I've only watched Black Panther once. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't think the film was that great. It had a lot of fun sequences. Like, I remember driving home from the movie, like, for like 30 minutes trying to have a conversation with Christina who watched it with me. I'm like, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Like, nothing made sense to me in that film, or like story wise and character wise. I was super confused. I'm like, oh, but all right, but it was a fun film. And I'm like, and like the last like 20 minutes of the film did not look good. Like, they rushed through some fight scenes and some visual effects. I mean, it was bad animation. And we'll get into like that stuff later, but it was enjoyable overall. There's just a whole lot of questions. But that being said, the trailer dropped, and like, man, the music choice, like, oh, they got me good. God, right in the feels, man. I watched it like twice, and I was just like choked up. Like, man, what are they gonna do? And they showed all this imagery, but you really don't know what the story is. Like, they're just showing you enough to like entice you. I'm like, damn, there's some cool looking stuff they showed. Super. I mean, I'm in. Obviously, I want to know how they're gonna tell this story, and I hope it's a more complete story than the first film. And I have a feeling it will be because they have a lot to build on. Martin Freeman, I forgot he was in the first Black Panther film, and I was not expecting to like him much, but I think it was really cool.
Yeah, me too. And you nailed it on the head when you said the music choice, going from No Woman, No Cry to Kendrick Lamar is going to be all right. Man, they changed, that was some good blending and some good mixing. So they got us ready. And I was starting to wonder when we were going to see something because this movie's supposed to come out in November. And I'm like, here we are at the end of July, and we hadn't seen one shot from it. And that's kind of odd a little bit. So I don't know if they just want to try to hold everything close to the vest till it comes out. And looking forward to it, man. It looks dope.
Yeah, and that actually marks the end of Phase 4 for the MCU,
Hmm.
which is like, all right, and let's. Do you want to get into that Phase 4 right now, real quick?
Yeah, let's get this out of the way because it ain't great.
Because we got to jump into yeah. um, yeah, it's Phase 4, dude. Was all over the place. My after looking at, let's just recap real quick. Phase 4 movies was Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder, Thor, and Wakanda Forever. It ends it.
Mhm.
I have no there's a little bit of a tie together in those films, but for the most part, they are not related.
Yeah, the direction. What direction were they going? What I don't understand the direction that they were going. Like because a lot of the
No.
phases or all the phases before there, they had a clear end. Like oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
end it with this Avengers or the team up. Avengers Assemble. You know,
Yeah.
and the Phase 4 just didn't have
There's no
it. Yeah.
goals. The only and then the whole bunch of TV shows, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, What If cartoon, I wouldn't count that. Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk. The only thing, here's my theory. Here's my Phase 4 theory. The goal for Phase 4, how do we keep the thing going? Introduce a bunch of characters and what people are interested where we don't have to pay Robert Downey Jr. $100 million every time he shows up.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's my theory. They need to cut some payroll, and they went some TV shows, and they had a bunch of unknowns that they probably hired for like 10 years for peanuts.
Yeah. My
So
take is
I'm
that
very curious.
my take is that for Phase 4, let's learn how to doggy paddle. Let's tread some water because we don't know where the fuck we're going. So let's just float for a little bit. So I think that even though there's some success in some of the movies, I don't think you can even have like of course, until we'll see what happens with Wakanda Forever. But what's the best? What's
Yeah.
the best movie? What? Like I don't even have like oh yeah, this is a clear cut best movie. They all have their
Yeah.
flaws, and they all lack that one cinematic moment for me.
I think my favorite Phase 4 film, it's a little tough to say. It's either Doctor Strange after the first 20 minutes, but it's not like even it's not really related to the thing. But so there's that, or Shang-Chi. I thought it was really well, like that surprised me how well together it was put. And it had a lot of heart, and I liked a lot of the balance of characters and fantasy and grounding and family. Those two films were my two standouts for Phase 4 for me.
Yeah, I mean,
How about you?
I agree with you with the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, just get rid of that the first 20-30 minutes, and I want the Sam Raimi movie that was the second half of the movie. Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
it lost me a little bit in the end. I was like,
Okay.
like the beginning and everything was great. It's just like the last 15-20 minutes. I'm like, have I seen this before? But like, is this the
Of course, it's a Marvel
yeah
film. You've seen it all before.
yeah also Disney? So I was like, is this Raya the Last Dragon, or what are we doing here?
Ah, yeah.
So um, for me, if I had to pick one, it would be Doctor Strange, but it still has, like I said, its flaws. And now we're leading up to Phase 5, and we'll see if they can steer the ship in the right direction.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, and Phase 5 starts with Ant-Man. Actually, I'll read off Phase 1. Talk about Phase 5
Yeah,
now.
let's move
Any
on.
other Phase 4 thoughts?
We're done trashing Phase 4.
Here we go. Phase 5. It kicks off with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and I would say Phase 4 introduced the idea of the multiverse, and they've like they dipped their toe in it several times. I'm like, all right, cool. And then it goes into Guardians of the Galaxy a couple months after Ant-Man. Ant-Man comes out in February, and then we go into Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Then we go into the Marvels in the summer. And then something I'm honestly super looking forward to. I don't know how they're going to pull this off. Blade in November. Dude, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Marvel films 2023. And then from
Crazy.
there, we kick off straight into Captain America New World Order, starring the new Captain America. and we got Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. Actually, Fantastic Four kicks off Phase 6. And then we got Avengers Kang Dynasty, and then Avengers Secret Wars. So that'll be interesting. That Phase 6 is very focused. And here's the thing with Marvel. There's for Phase 6, there's a lot of unannounced projects. So I think they're still shuffling some stuff around. So don't be surprised if shit moves around. So how you doing over there? How's your brain taking all this in?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And curious how some of these projects are gonna look and what direction they're gonna take, because there's a lot of stuff to cover, and they have some pretty exciting stuff to look forward to. So I'm hoping that this Phase 5 steers the ship, and we can be excited about watching these Marvel movies again, because they're getting a little stagnant.
Yeah, they need to mix it up. And I don't know, just we'll see. The way I loved how in Captain America Winter Soldier, like, all right, you're kind of going on a good road, and towards the middle of the film, they like pull the rug out from underneath you. You're like, what the shit? And you're just like, it kind of changed everything. Like, they even had a TV show. They literally flipped everything around. You're like, holy crap. That was amazing. Like, so, like, these big moves that they were doing early on were so fun. And it seems like they can't even do a big move anymore right now because nothing is really related to each other.
Yeah.
There's no like common threads that they could just tug on and mess with everybody with. You know what I mean? So they're still kind of like, it's a rebuilding year.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. They're rebuilding. And that's cool. I think they can do it, but man, they lost some of their heavy hitter directors and writers after Infinity War, the Infinity Saga finished. So fingers crossed. But the TV shows, I'm gonna go into the TV shows for a second. Kicks off with Secret Invasion, which is in spring, which is cool. It's like the Nick Fury one with the Skrulls showing up on Earth, which should be fun. And then we have Echo, who was last seen in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Loki season 2. Ironheart, who's gonna make her debut in Wakanda Forever at the end of the year. And this is, all right, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is the thing I am most excited for. And I think of all of the projects across the board, the films, everything, Daredevil Born Again. That's my jam right there. I'm so excited to have Charlie Cox back in the official MCU universe run by the MCU folks after doing a cameo in the last Spider-Man film. My main concern, though, what do you think? Daredevil Born Again, 18 episodes. That seems really freaking long to me.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to say, dude, it's 18 episodes. And I'm wondering, couldn't they just have made a couple of films? You know, but I've watched all of the Netflix series and I enjoyed them all. And I'm like, hey, if you throw a hallway scene in every episode, I'm good. Keep me happy. Because that's some of the most badass shit ever shot, you know? So,
dude, yeah. I don't know how they're going to handle, like, Daredevil was pretty hard R,
pretty violent
on Netflix, and now it's going to be on Disney. So I don't know how they're going to approach any of this. But 18 episodes, that's a lot of content to fill, and it's not going to be out for a while, so they have some time to figure it out. But man, dude, it's going to be like 4 months straight. You're going to be watching a new Daredevil episode for 4 months straight. And Born Again, I have that book. It's a really good book. I don't know if it could fill 18. What is this? Gonna be like 9 hours if they're like 30-minute episodes. That's a lot.
You think they're gonna be 30-minute episodes?
Three. Dude, at 8. God, I hope so. Because I don't want 18 hours. We'll find out. That's a lot of hours to fill. Not a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of story, but it's only like 12 issues worth of story, which is maybe 30 minutes at the most. So that's 12. Yeah, that's like 6 hours of footage that they could try to fill. I don't know. It's a really cool story. It's about like the fall of Daredevil and him trying to like redeem himself, like just crawling. And it is not a happy one. There's some sad stuff that happens. So I'm really curious how deep and dark Marvel's going to go with this storyline.
Did you watch the She-Hulk trailer, the new version?
I did.
Did you? You're lying. You didn't finish it?
No, we watched it.
Daredevil's in it.
I was, dude, I must have watched the wrong one, because
they're on like
Shit.
on a roof, and then she's standing there, and then he like does a flip, and then it stands up, and the camera starts from the knees, and it pans up, and it's him in a suit, and then the trailer ends. So he's gonna be
Well, crap.
yeah. There you go, dog in the trailer
All
again.
right, dude. That trailer though was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's all right. I'll just right now. This might be my least excited project, except for the fact that Daredevil's in it for this next batch of films or shows coming out. It did not like. She looks raw, like the face, like her talking. It looked so weird to me.
Even he
was not
he looked
like,
weird too.
you mean what, Ruffalo's Hulk?
Yeah, the Hulk looked weird talking too.
Yeah.
Where Matthew was watching it with me. We're like, what the fuck?
I was watching it on YouTube on our TV, and it felt like the audio was like not matching. Like, was the audio off by a couple frames? Because it was not matching. I was like, what is happening here? I'm still going to reserve judgment until the final show comes out, but man, it looks like, what is this?
Okay, so I agree with you. So for me, for most excited for, I'm going to go with Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania, because Kang is supposed to appear in that, and that Kang first appeared on Loki season 1 of the season finale, and I'm excited for that, man, because there's supposed to be multiple versions of him, and he might pop up in every movie. And Jonathan Majors, I love Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country,
dude. So
and
fun actor.
Yeah, and I'm excited for him to get his shot to blow up, because he's great, man. So I'm excited about this, and I hope it goes in the direction. And I think Kang could be the thread that ties all this stuff together. And because he's going to be in all these different universes, causing chaos and destroying all kinds of shit, So
yeah, I think he's the big bad. So we'll see how it. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
And so that gets kicked off in, what is it, February of 2023, and then it leads up to all the way the Kang Dynasty, Avengers Kang Dynasty in May. So 2 years later, they're going to wrap up that storyline. So that storyline is going to be going for about 2 years. So that'll be fun. That's a thread, Marvel. So they knew what they were doing. They were just taking 5, man. They're just taking 5.
Biggest surprise for me is that they were making a Agatha Coven of Chaos. Did we need that shit? I'm like, what's going on here? Did we? I thought that was tied up.
Apparently not. I like the actress, but I feel like they're just kind of like,
I love the actress.
Someone at Disney High. Yeah, I think someone at Disney was just straight up like, we need to fill some slots to get our viewership and our subscriptions high and keep them high.
Yeah.
And I understand wanting to get her. She was popular and she was fun. She's awesome. But I mean, are they going to do the thing where she's like a good guy or some bullshit now? I don't know, man. I don't know. Reserve judgment until we see something for it, but I try not to overthink it. Okay, here, hot take. Here's a hot take. I don't know. I think we talked about this a little bit, because Wakanda Forever opens up against around the same time Avatar 2 opens up. I'm curious, is there enough room for both? Or is Wakanda Forever just going to wipe the floor with Avatar, or vice versa? I think my take is Wakanda Forever wipes the floor with Avatar 2. And I'm curious if it like disrupts the future Avatar plans, because they've got like so many planned. I think they have like 5 more right now, and they shot at least 2 of them already. Like, is this gonna disrupt things for big Jimmy C over at Avatar World?
Yeah, I agree with you.
What do you think?
I texted you like as soon as the trailer was over, or we watched the trailer, I was like, dude, Wakanda Forever is gonna make $2.5 billion. So you guys take that to the bank. I think the interest is not there for Avatar. Like, I think I've watched Avatar like 2 or 3 times, but I know a ton of people that have only seen it once. Like, I think you included, that have only seen it like one in the theater. And I enjoyed the movie. I bought the Blu-ray and everything, and I still get a kick out of the special effects and everything like that. So I'm excited for Avatar 2, but I wouldn't put anything against Wakanda Forever right now. I mean, like, hey, can we can
Yeah.
we move the date to something else? Because
Yeah, like if a good enough Black Panther made like $1 billion, imagine the momentum this next one
yeah,
has. Like I think 1.5
yeah,
to 1.8 is not
yeah,
impossible.
and we don't understand how deep of a emotional thing this is gonna be for a lot of people. You know, to
Yeah,
the Black
like it
community.
might be like
You know, it's important. You know, they've never been
the
represented
first one
this
was
way. You
huge.
know,
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
highest level, and having somebody there to represent them and in the best way possible. And luckily, I guess now we're gonna do Captain America, and I'm looking forward to that take and
oh yeah.
everything. So, um,
I'm really curious where they
yeah,
go with that
yeah,
story. But I love Anthony
yeah,
Mackie, so I'm like, cool. I really hope Winter Soldier shows up for a little bit too, just because them two
yeah,
together. Like I did not like that show at all, but every scene that they were in
yeah,
together was really good.
yeah. The good guy, bad guy, or like the they had good chemistry.
Ref- yeah, they had
Yeah,
chemistry.
I liked it too.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. And all right, one more hot take, and maybe we might we'll move on, fair
Mhm.
listeners. Avengers. I don't. King Dynasty is May 2nd, 2025. It's a ways off. But then Avengers Secret Wars opens up like 6 months afterwards. Two Avengers films in 1 year. Is that too much? Like, and how can you have two major storylines like get wrapped up? Because the Avengers films, unless they're sequels, like wrap stuff up. So are they gonna wrap up two storylines in 6 months? I don't understand what they're doing there. They clearly know something. So I'm guessing. I don't know. It seems like a lot. And I hope they have two separate teams working on both films. If they don't, they're gonna suffer. And like, how are they gonna complete that much visual effects within that short a period of time without killing every single person who's working on that show? Because Marvel's infamous for just being extremely abusive to the people that work for them. Like on the post production side, like they don't care about schedules. They will cancel the birth of your children, get back to work. Like it's gonna be rough. So I'm really curious how they manage this, or I would not be surprised if they delay by like 6 months,
Yeah, yeah, dude, it's gonna be tough. They definitely have a lot of work to complete. Um,
dude. So and they also they're smart about shifting stuff. Like when they have a character or a plot line that seems to really catch on and do much better than they think they're gonna do, they'll start like putting more of that character in future films that was not planned before, and it's kind of fun to kind of do that. Like, all right, it's a little loose, which is kind of a lot of fun. I like that.
yeah,
And they also, the side note, they announced it's the weirdest thing. They announced all these films, and like a day or two later, I think the Monday after the Comic-Con, maybe Tuesday, the director for Avengers King Dynasty was announced. Do you see
yeah,
that?
yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I had to
Yeah,
look
it's
it
the
up. I
director
didn't
of
recognize him.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I found out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it was that guy.
He's a good director. He's a very good director. Like his other Destin Creed, if you look at his other live action, just non superhero stuff, like that guy can direct. He knows character, he knows people, he knows emotion. Like he's
Hmm.
good. So that's pretty cool,
Yeah,
man. Pretty cool. Um, and then Phase 6 goes into Fantastic Four right before we go into the there's Avengers films, and they're calling that the Multiverse Saga.
yeah,
So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Uh, any other final
yeah.
thoughts?
I'll do my hot take now.
Yeah.
Mister Who Two Hot Takes and
Woo.
wanting to move on without letting me get my hot take. That's a hot take.
Well, your take's just shitty, but all right, go ahead.
Mister Forgetful. Uh, yeah, my hot take is where the fuck are the X-Men? You purchased Fox how many years ago? And I know, we got to plan and weave it and all sort of stuff. Where are the X-Men? Are you going to change the titles to some of this? You teased it a little bit with the, spoilers.
Miss Mo-
Spoiler, everybody. Press the 50-second,
all right,
the 15-second button. You teased the X-Men with Doctor Strange, and we're
and there's one more too. They totally teased
with,
it. Miss
oh yeah,
Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Yeah,
That was the first time in the MCU anyone used the word like
mutants.
mutant.
So I want to know what you guys are doing over there that you can't put a little X on a little slide that says X, and we can watch something with an X-Men, any X-Men. So that's my hot take. Like, we want to know where the fuck the
I
X-Men
hear
are.
you.
Free the X-Men. The X-Men are captives. Let's go.
Well, apparently they've been they've been screen testing certain folks for Wolverine. There's been like rumors, and they've given some names out there, and I think it's gonna tie directly into Fantastic Four. And remember, there's a whole bunch of Phase 6 stuff that they have not announced. Like, there's a bunch of empty slots that the slots are there, but they won't fill them.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna be going there. I guarantee you somewhere it's gonna happen.
Maybe by the D23, they'll have some announcements, because I know that they like to save some of these announcements for that event that they have down in Disneyland or Disney.
Yeah.
And
that's in September.
Yeah, September. So maybe in September.
How cool would it be though? Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, I kind of hope they don't announce anything and you're just watching a movie and then like someone's in some trouble and a dude gets stabbed in the face with some claws and you're like, holy shit, Wolverine. You know what I mean?
That would be cool.
Like, that would be a moment. Like, these guys need some moments, man. And I think infusing like X-Men into the MCU now is like the blood that they clearly need. And how cool would it be if you have a couple X-Men on the Avengers?
You know what would be a moment? If they showed me a fucking trailer. That'd be a moment too.
It's gonna be a while. All right, my prediction is within the next 12 months we'll see an X-Men on screen, small or big, I don't know, but we'll see it in the next 12 months. I guarantee you they're already like designing and they already have stuff going.
We're gonna get West Coast Avengers movie before we get the fucking X-Men.
Dude, we're gonna get a Young Avengers movie with all
they already got the Young Avengers going. They got the Hawkeye and Miss Marvel.
They got Miss Marvel. They're gonna have Ironheart,
Echo. They're setting that up pretty well.
Dude, yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
The disrespect of the X-Men is bullshit. I'm not growing up. Like, I didn't read the Avengers, man. Who read the Avengers growing up? Everybody read X-Men. Like, if 80s, 90s, it was about X-Men, man. It was Jim Lee, McFarlane. It was those guys, man. We wanted X-Men. And now they're
totally true. I have like piles of X-Men books, and it wasn't until the last maybe 10 years that I started reading any Avenger books.
And opposed to all the other Marvel stuff that I have, like the X-Men actually have some cool villains we can explore. They got Mr. Sinister.
They got it.
That'd be cool. Him lurking in the shadows. Get something going. That's my final thought on the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah. I think it's gonna blow up big in the next probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Moving on to something that is not as exciting as all this Marvel stuff. We got DC dropping some duds.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't call it a dud though, but I would say as a present, it was a dud. But go ahead.
Dude, they were totally irrelevant in the Comic-Con. Like, that day and the days after, like, who was talking about anything DC? All they were talking about, like, how bad it looked and this and that. So it was a dud to me. I mean, I'm glad The Rock showed up and he showed us his monstrous physique in that, in his costume, which is wild the way he looks now. But it's not normal. He's on the sauce. People at 50 don't start getting those type of muscles. You got to you need some help. That's not how the anatomy works in the human lifespan. You don't hit 50 and like, oh, I'm gonna hit my prime now. No, fool.
Yeah, your muscles don't grow muscles.
No.
When you're 50.
No. I mean,
there's some laboratories involved.
Yeah. I'm sure he has a lot of investments set out through his whole portfolio. But anyways,
he went back to his WWF fucking locker room doctors and be like, hey, how's it going?
He's never been this ripped. When he was a wrestler, he was not ripped. He was just bulky. What made him great was his ability to rock the mic, and that was the best part about him. I mean, he was a showman. He's always been a showman. So that's what gives me hope for the Black Adam movie. But yeah, man, that's DC had a rough weekend. What are your thoughts?
They did. I don't think they have anything in the pipe. I think Warner Brothers is kind of in a rough place right now because of the whole like they got the Flash movie, or do they? It's a little up in the air at this point.
Yeah,
That's you know what I mean? They don't know what they're like. They got Batman, like that. The Batman's their only W, but he's almost not in like that universe.
yeah,
So I don't know how they would work that in. And we got Aquaman 2, who's zero presence, and of course that's got its own casting issues.
yeah.
And then God, who else do they have?
Do they poop in the ocean? Do you think in beds in the oceans? Anyways,
depends how fibrous they go. Oh man! So you know what? And then what tripped me out, what made me wonder, I saw the video of The Rock coming out on stage dressed as like Black Adam. I was like, holy shit! And then I saw the full video after the pictures, and they went all out and made like smoke machines and lightning and shit on stage, and they put him on this thing that lifted him like 10, 20 feet in the air, and he was like hooked in, and he was in his full outfit. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking some showmanship. He went up. I think he said like one line, maybe 1.5 lines, and then the lights went out, and that was it. And people looked confused, and that was like the whole thing. And I guess he went backstage and got changed and came back out. But that much effort to not like put on a show at least for like a minute, you know, say or do something like that shit felt awkward and that shit was clearly not practiced ahead of time. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
It just felt awkward.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, but there's a lot of rock. There's a lot of rock sightings all over downtown San Diego. He's doing all sorts of promotional stuff because that's what he does, and people were loving it. And that, I mean, I'd freak out if I saw The Rock. I'd be like, "Oh shit, that's The Rock! Look at his fucking giant smile. How does he do that?"
Dude, you weren't thinking about his smile,
but that's
you're like, "Look at The Rock. I wonder if he can carry me like a little baby." That's what you thought.
Dude, he could carry the both of us like little babies. Are you kidding me?
I know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh man, at the same time, and I'd be cool with it. I'd pat him on the head the whole time.
Complain, that's for sure. Be like, please don't break me, sir.
Oh man. But getting back to like that's Warner Brothers' problem, and Warner Brothers also did not really have much of a presence for Game of Thrones too much either. Like that's a big fucking deal, and they didn't really. They're just like we got our own problems to deal with right now.
And I felt like the Game of Thrones spin-off, the Dragon
House of
Dragon had a little bit of momentum going in. You know, like they dropped the trailer the previous week, and it's like I felt like, oh man, they're gonna build on this. They're gonna have the cast out there, something, you know. And I don't know, man. It's like, did Warner Brothers give up this year, or are they like, man, they whooped our ass again? Or I don't understand what's going on.
I think they put like the studio like 80% of the personnel into like damage control for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's probably and they've had some high up personnel switches.
And the merger, right? They got bought by Discovery.
Yeah, Discovery. Yeah. So I think they are just they also are in a rebuilding season.
No clear leadership to give them the plan or a vision of what they want to achieve. I mean, I guess that makes sense, you know. But at the same time, we just want more because we love this stuff. You know, we want something to cheer about. And DC,
and I think the challenge is like the executives at the high up, they don't love this shit. They just try to hire the right people and hope they don't cause controversy. And God,
it's frustrating,
dude. Warner Brothers has struggled since 2010. Yeah. It's been like 12 years of these guys struggling to get anything together correctly.
And it seems like they take one step forward and then 2 steps back. You know, because you know, Wonder Woman, yay, and then Justice League, boo. You know, and then Shazam, oh, okay, what's going on here? And then Zack Snyder's Justice League, boo. So,
dude, don't forget. And then what else did they do?
Wonder Woman 2,
Aquaman. Terrible. Aquaman made a lot of money, but it was I fast forwarded through most of it because I'm like, oh my
Hater.
god, this looks
No
terrible.
Aquaman slander here, okay? I'm not gonna say it's great, but we're not gonna slander Aquaman.
It was I think Jason Momoa was awesome. So I can't hate on the guy. Like, I think he's fucking cool. But as an Aquaman movie, like they need to spend more time in the aqua areas, not like in the desert areas. But whatever, man. It was I don't
The
know.
sand
I
was a
don't
little
know.
weird.
It got a little weird. And some of the cartoony looking everything was a little weird. But it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, there you
You know
go,
what I
bro.
mean?
Come on. That's a W.
Yeah.
It wasn't Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude, if we're gonna start grading from like shit, that's our starting point is the worst thing ever, then everything's gonna be pretty fucking
Dude,
good.
come on. Marvel's got some turds too.
Anyways.
Well, let's keep moving.
Oh yeah.
Let's move.
No doubt. Move on.
All right. So did Warner Brothers drop the ball? We both agree, yes. On a scale to 1 to 10, how bad was this weekend for them? How damaging? How like moving forward? Or do we trust them? Or what do you think, man? What's your number?
I give them a 5. Like they've never really brought the pain at the Comic-Con, to tell you the truth. I don't think they've rocked the house. I think the last time they rocked the house was when they announced Batman versus Superman. I remember getting like an alert on my phone because I'm like, I'm not going to that panel, and they're announcing it as like Superman 2, whatever. And then they showed the logo with the Batman symbol on top of the Superman. People like flipped the fuck out. Even when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome. And then cut to like 2 years later, sitting in the theater, like, oh my god, this is the worst piece of shit ever. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh. So
you get it a 5?
I don't know, man.
A 5?
I'm gonna give them a 5 on it. Maybe even like a 4 because they really. I'm gonna go 4. Go ahead.
4, that's low. I give them an 8. They shit the fucking bed, bro. Mr. 4 over here.
Oh, no, 4 is bad.
Bro, do you not know how 1 to 10 works? 10 being the highest?
Oh my god, are we? Oh, we're doing it backwards. I'm just saying I'm giving them a 4 out of 10 for not
That's
doing
still the
well.
middle.
That's a 40%.
Yeah, I give them an 80%. They shit the bed.
So you give them. So if we reverse it, you give them a 2.
Yes.
All right. God damn, we got to figure this math stuff out between us, man.
Is it me?
My god.
Because I learned math in Mexico? What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
El caliente, no.
I'm sure if you thought hey, rank 1 to 10, I guess I got to tell you 10 being the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. 10 being
so
the
you
worst.
Give it a
I thought
6?
1 was the worst.
6. That's like a mid take. You're not committing to the take, bro. It's an 8.
No, I gave him a 4. 1 out of.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
This guy in numbers.
This is a weird ranking. We got to work on this ranking system.
It's on the document. Anyways.
It's not clear. Anyways, you asshole.
You never fail to amaze me, bro. Just when I think you're and then you impress me again. Good one, bro.
Oh man. Dude, we gotta work on this shit.
All right. So you give him a 4/6. I'll give it an 8.
I give him a 40%, which is still a failing grade. You give him a 20%, which is an absolute failing.
All right. Moving on.
All right, shithead. Moving on. What do we watch?
Let us know.
I watched. Okay. I sent you a thing.
Yeah.
I finally got Hulu.
Yeah.
I want to first start out with the Hulu app on like a Roku. Dude, it's awesome. Like it works better than Netflix and Prime, and like HBO works pretty well. I think it is the second best, but the Hulu app just works so smooth and it's so clean and easy. It's well designed where I don't have to like guess like where's the subtitles, because if I'm gonna, you know what I mean, like it's like 2 clicks right there. Like on Amazon, good luck. You got to like log into your fucking account and switch languages and verifies. Yeah. You'll never do it.
Get your shit together, Amazon.
Man, the Hulu app is so smooth, and when you hit like rewind, it's immediate. Yeah. Like it'll go back like 10 seconds, like without thinking. Like when you do it on Netflix, like you hit like rewind, you gotta wait like 30 seconds for it to catch up to 15 seconds ago, and it reloads. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, pain in the ass. And sometimes when we rewind on the HBO app, the whole app just crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. But the Hulu app is so smooth.
That's
So
cool.
holy
There you
shit.
go.
So I got Hulu. And on Hulu, one of the things I watched was your favorite show from your top ranked show from the first half of the year was The Bear.
Yeah.
And we got, I think, 3 or 4 episodes in, and I totally see how you just powered through all of them. Because it's like, the story just goes. And it starts crazy, and it just gets kind of crazier. And it's not like some like next level crazy, like, oh no, this guy now owes this person money, and then this guy, oh no, they're coming for his family. Like, no. It's just like some characters in this restaurant that's like struggling, and they're all struggling together, both within the restaurant and personally. And you start to unravel and get the layers from all the characters as what they want in life and where they are in life and their dynamics together. And I'm like, this is good. Like, I knew it was gonna be good, but it's good. And how they shoot it, like the first episode, I felt anxiety. Like they were like up close and dude sweating and shaking and the camera shaking. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you gotta be in a mood to watch that shit. Like, it's a little rough, but man, it's good. You feel it. And like you were saying, like working kitchens,
Yeah.
it's tough. They captured a lot of that shit. And as you said before, there's always that one person where like, I gotta work with this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pressure cooker in the
You know what I
kitchen,
mean?
dude. So
Yeah.
they totally achieve that sensation. And yeah, you always
Yeah.
have that one shit bag. You're like, yeah.
And as you were saying earlier, like, you thought of me watching that because I would be freaking out yelling at people. Dude, when we were watching the show, like at least 3 times, I yelled at the TV, "Fire that motherfucker! What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, oh man, yeah, I was feeling that. So that's The Bear. I'm looking forward to finishing it. And then what else did we watch? Oh, and there's so many movies on Hulu. Just because we were looking for anything fun to watch, we just throw on Fifth Element. Just because, like, I love the Fifth Element.
Super green.
Man, and it looked fantastic. On like the transfer, everything was awesome. And I'm like, the Fifth Element is so awesome.
I love that movie.
It's so awesome. And watching it again reminded me, here's my quick story. Man, this is gonna be a long podcast today. One of my first jobs in the film industry was at a company called Digital Domain, and they did, I think, all of visual effects for it. And they had to build all the miniatures for like the cities that they were flying through. And there's a whole lot of parts that they had to build to like fly all over the place. And once they were done, they took that miniature city, they took it apart, but they left like all the pieces together and they kind of rebuilt it in the hallways at the offices at the company. When I first started working there, I was like walking around and I came across a corner and I started walking down the hall and I realized, like, holy shit, this is all like the miniatures from the Fifth Element. That was amazing to me. Like, it's just right in front of me was like the cityscape from the Fifth Element, the actual cityscape that they used. And that blew my mind. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Like, that movie was special to me in the theaters watching it. Like, that was awesome.
That definitely is on my Bruce Willis top 5. I love that movie. I agree with you.
Dude.
I watched
yeah.
I'm gonna bring up Westworld again. Not to sing his praises, but man, it made me feel dumb this week.
Okay. Maybe that explains the scoring fiasco that you just had, but that's cool.
We'll let the people decide on that, right? But
yes, we will.
But
1 to 10.
Yeah, it's 1 to 10, not 10 to 1.
1 to 10 with the high. What that? 1 to 10. Like, you're giving a high score for being shitty. Who does that? Anyways, moving on. How was Westworld and your brain doing this week?
It fucked me up, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, here I am, all like, man, this season's been great. I know this timeline. This person's doing this. This character is doing that. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm feeling super confident, and just like that, who is this person right in front of me? I thought it was somebody completely different, and I don't understand what they're doing with that character. And so I'm back in the I'm a dumbass, and I have to go read some Reddit and try to figure some of this stuff out, and hopefully somebody will explain it to me. But yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that Westworld's being an asshole again. So moving on.
Well, I'm glad I stand by my choice of gave it up a
It's
while ago.
amazing, bro. It's amazing. You just don't like to be confused.
Is it?
I mean, you're already confused with numbers, so I guess adding more confusion to you it won't work. You know, like you got to get through the day somehow. I don't want you to be running into the walls. You know.
Yeah.
So
that'd be terrible.
Is that the real Andres or is that the fake Andres? There's two of us, but one, I'm the real one. And then you're gonna start like just crashing, bro. So I understand.
Is that what it is?
I understand.
Like maybe why do I have to plug myself into the wall every morning to recharge? Yeah. Is that a bad sign? Yeah. Is that good or bad? I don't know
either.
Maybe.
Is this coffee real? Isn't that real? Anyways. Anyways, moving on to the awesome Andres segment of the show, trailers.
Motherfucker, I put both of these down here.
You did pick both of them.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Yeah. Anyways, first one. What is it?
Samaritan. It's a Amazon Prime movie, and it's starring Sylvester Stallone. And I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. I'm excited. I mean,
it looks all right.
You never know. Like Sylvester Stallone does like one good one, and then like 3 what the fuck
questionable. Yeah. 3 I got bills to pay.
And then because I like the first Escape Plan, but I guess he did a couple more Escape Plans. I'm like, what was that, bro? And then he was in Creed. I'm like, cool, you're in Creed. And then he did some other bullshit. I don't know, man. So, but this one looks cool. I'm looking forward to it. That kid looks familiar.
It's interesting.
Who's that kid that was talking to him in the trailer?
I gotta look up the IMDb, which I have not done yet.
Okay, I thought you knew everything.
I know, it's weird. But yeah, he plays like a retired superhero hiding out, having to come out of retirement kind of situation. I'm like, it could be good. Could be good.
Could be good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Well, all right. What's the next one?
Next one, Blonde, starring Ana de Armas, and it's a biographical movie of the famous singer actress Marilyn Monroe. Looked pretty cool.
Yeah, man. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, after you gushing over her last week for The Gray Man, I had to put this on here.
I needed to take dump some cold water on me after
that. And so yeah, speaking of cold water, supposedly this film might be rated NC-17. That's what I read that like a couple weeks ago, and I haven't followed it up. But let's see what happens there.
Yeah. I have a question. Did Marilyn Monroe have an accent? Because
yeah, her name was Norma Jean Baker. She was from like I don't know where, and I'm pretty sure she had like a slightly southern accent.
Oh, okay. Does Ana de Armas accent sound southern, or it sounds a little bit more like my accent? I don't know. Did you? Maybe I need to.
Maybe when she sings "Happy Birthday to you, Mr. President."
Yeah, exactly. Nobody. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I have to watch it again.
You got the brown filter on your ears, and you're like waiting for it. The hairs in the back of your neck chop up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm really curious. I think she's a good actress. Yeah. I'm not sure what the film's about 100%, but it's cool looking. I think it looks like it's black and white the whole film, which will probably help sell. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I think if anything, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And this is her first, I think, big like carrying a whole film around her character.
Yeah.
I mean, she was basically the star of Knives Out, but Daniel Craig was right there with her. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Yeah, Daniel Craig was throwing some fire that movie.
Dude, it was awesome. I can't wait for the sequel. Yeah. It's supposed to drop September.
Oh, really?
Oh. Yeah.
All right. So moving ahead, we got new to the list this week. Exciting. Hey guys, Friday, August 5th, you're gonna have some stuff to watch. We got let me just list all 3 of them, and then we can like dissect it. We got Prey on Hulu, August 5th, new Predator movie. We got The Sandman, on Netflix, which is the Neil Gaiman adaptation of his comic, and then we got Luck on Apple Plus for the kids.
Yeah.
Animated movie. It looks amazing.
And, yeah.
So what are you gonna watch, bro, on Friday?
Let's start at Prey. Let's start at Prey.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Prey. How excited are you?
Oof, bro. I can barely contain myself. It's been getting pretty cool reactions as far as I've read online. Yeah. Oh my god. Like Andres knows this about me, but Predator is like in my top 5 movies of all time. So I'm excited.
Dude, I remember just sitting in the theater as a kid watching it, just being totally freaked out. Especially with like the big reveal where he walks out of the water. I was just like edge of my little tiny seat. Yeah. Like I was like, oh shit.
Man, that's some good parenting right there. But you know what?
Yeah, they drop you off.
You didn't watch it with your parents?
I don't know.
Like I remember watching it on HBO with my dad. We didn't go to the theater to watch this, and I remember that was the first time that I think I've remember hearing the word motherfucker in English. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't move across till I was 7, and then that became my dad's favorite word. But
well, thanks, Arnie.
Yeah. And so yeah, good memories. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was so caught up in the what was it and like who peels the skin, and man, and like all the guys were like all the his team all had like specific weapons, and this guy's this specialist, man, and I'm like, ooh, which gun would I have? And as a little kid, you're like, oh, I love this, and this is painless, good old painless, you know, and like the jokes, those what's his name, Jack? No, Shane Black, yeah. Shane Black's jokes. Yeah. Oh man, it was a lot.
Dude, we might have to do like an Aliens Predator just episode where we just nerd out,
bro,
because we have so much to say about either film, man. But yeah, this I'm trying to keep my excitement to like a minimum, just so I can go in and just enjoy the film. I'm trying to like stay calm, stay cool. But I'm so fucking excited. Dude, I was going to get HULU just to watch this one film that tells you everything. So yeah, hopefully we could watch this and get our next recording done and upload by like Monday, Tuesday, a couple days after this shows up, so people can kind of jump in or do whatever. I think that'd be really cool. All right, moving on to the Sandman. Enough slobbering all over the Predator. Sandman.
Going optimistic, but low expectations.
I think it looks really pretty, and I really hope that they're able to get some of those Good Omen vibes from Neil Gaiman's other show. If they can get some of that energy and the pacing, it could be really cool. But I tried to read the book, and the book's a little out there, so I'm really curious how that book translates to like a mass audience. And I like crazy shit, and I was having a hard time with the book a little bit. It was not like there was no joy. It was just kind of like sad and depressing on top of more sad and depressing. And I was like, I think I'm kind of good right now. Even though people keep it as like one of their top 5 comic books of all time. So far, not me. I'll be willing to give it another chance, and I hope it does something more. And it went on for years and years and years. So something did something right. So fingers crossed. But yeah, it's on Netflix, so it costs nothing to like hit play for 30 minutes and just see what's up.
For sure. Like I said, I really don't have a lot of expectations for it, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens.
Fingers crossed. I have a good feeling though. I have a good feeling. This one's been in production for like a while. And Luck.
I'm excited for this. Luck. I'm excited. I'm excited to night her down and be like, hey man, you want to see this movie? And she's like, you want to watch it with me? You know, she's sick, so she gets all let's make an event out of it. Let's get candy and popcorn and whatever, you know, and and so looking forward to spending some time with her watching the movie and stuff. And
that's cute. I think it looks cool.
It looks amazing.
I don't have Apple. I just got HULU, so I'm keeping my shit tight right now. I'll get Apple at some other point in the future.
So you're
gonna have to let us know how it is.
I will definitely do that. The
Yeah.
animation looks
All right,
amazing.
moving on. Yeah. It looks really well done. They spent some money. Like, it looks really
Yep.
cool. It looks like an old school Pixar
Yeah.
film. Like, very clever and just really pretty looking.
Yeah. So
Oh, you know
go
what
ahead.
do you know what they did announce? Just before we go
Mhm.
further, they announced the air date for Lightyear on
Oh,
Disney
really?
Plus, and I think it's going to be in a couple weeks.
Oh,
It's pretty soon,
cool.
so that'll be something to look out
Yeah.
for. All right,
Next.
double feature
Yeah.
time. So give a shout out. What are we doing this week for the double feature?
All right. This week, since we had all this superhero talk, DC and Marvel, we're gonna go with non-DC Marvel superhero films. So any hero film that doesn't include these big, you know, big characters.
Yeah, the
Yes.
conglomerates, but a feature
Yeah.
film.
So for me,
All right, man. What's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Unbreakable. I love
Well,
I love that movie. So I was happy that
that was,
was it.
and that's why I have a backup
Yeah.
pick.
I didn't have a backup pick,
That
so I
was
was
my-
like, "Pretty please, can I go first?" And thank you for letting me go first, so I can pick the best one. I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, if I think of the second one, I think it's trash. But anyways, not trash, but not as good as this. But I was like, "Oh man, M. Night Shyamalan really did this. He made this superhero film back in the day when nobody was making superhero films, and this really stood out." And you're like, because at first you're like, "Oh, I wonder what this movie's about," and all this intrigue about his movies because he had just made Sixth Sense, and you're like, "Oh, there's gonna be a twist," and the twist was superheroes. Oh man, I remember watching that and be like, "That's so
The-
good."
Dude, when you rewatch it again, you're like, oh man, like there's so much going on, so
Yeah.
much. Like it's good. Man, peak M Night.
Yeah, I think that might be my
Sixth
favorite
Sense
one.
and Unbreakable. Oh yeah, dude. It's so, and then
And Mr. Glass,
to,
you can't forget about him. He's dialed it up a little bit, but man, just right to be a villain, you know?
yeah, man, it's a little spoilery there, but it's been like
Yeah,
20 years,
spoiler,
so
spoiler.
hopefully.
Don't let me. Well, don't get me started on that. It's been like they made
Oh,
3
man.
sequels. It's all right.
Yeah, dude, and shout out to Split, the down low
Yeah.
sequel to Unbreakable. Dude, that movie is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that movie is so
Yeah.
good. Like if you watch Unbreakable and Split, like that's a hell of a good combo. But that's not my second pick.
No,
though.
no, with
But man, all right. My other pick is something that's like there was a director who was supposed to direct X-Men 3 back in the day, and he dropped out because it was just too much. Like the schedule was unreal. So he's like, "Fuck this! This can't be made in
Yeah.
good time." And so they got another director to direct it, and yeah, it was a complete piece of
Yeah.
shit. But this guy, hey, he went on and to do some other films, and his first comic book film was Kick-Ass.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna
Man.
pick.
That movie was so good,
Yeah.
like for the most part. And I like the comic, and the writers
Yeah.
were really fun. So Matthew Vaughn went on to direct Kick-Ass, and then introduced like Hit
Yeah.
Girl, and then introduced Chloe something
Mm-hmm.
Moretz. I always get her name wrong. She is a hell of an
Yeah.
actress. She is still going strong to this day. So man, she's got a long career. She's awesome. And that film was just surprisingly awesome. Like Kick-Ass is very violent, not for the kids. And the comic book is extremely violent. And it takes some liberties from the book, but man, that's a fun
Yeah.
movie if anyone hasn't seen Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
So if you want two like non-mainstream comic films, go for these two. You're not gonna lose
Yeah.
here.
No, good pick, man. It's funny. It's a funny movie, and there's some cameos in there, and man, it was pretty cool. I loved it.
It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. So there you go. Those are our two
I thought you were gonna
picks.
pick Hancock.
Oh my god, that movie's
Yeah,
terrible.
that's why I was like, that's trash. I couldn't think of any other movie. I didn't Google it or anything like that. I just went off the top of my head.
That movie is like a head scratcher of a movie. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And there's so many things that make no sense in
Yeah.
that movie. But the reason that Hancock didn't make any sense is they had to make it at that point. Will Smith was getting paid, I think, $20 million. and he was either going to get paid $20 million whether they film it or not. So the company was like, nope, we just got to film it. And they wouldn't film something that had like no script, no nothing, no ideas. So that's what happens when you're forced to make a film and no one knows what the hell's going on. You get Hancock. But man,
well, good job, man.
All right, man.
That's our show.
Yeah, you too.
Any final thoughts? How do you feel about everything that?
No, it's good. It's long. We gotta there's so much Marvel stuff to unpack. We're gonna have to get to that to another time. I'd say the big loser amongst all those things is the numerical ranking system, apparently, where we give a really high number to something that we really hate.
Yeah.
That makes perfect fucking sense.
Another loser is
I hated it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Like, what?
Dude,
you fucking jerk.
America literacy took another hit again. Thanks to your thanks to your buddy Andres. Fucking shit up. Can't play any games with this guy because this guy he's a constant he's a human monkey wrench. Thanks, buddy.
Is it? You're welcome. Keep you on your toes because I guess between me and Westworld, you're screwed, right? Yeah.
Time to go bang my head against the wall right now. All right, guys, that's our show. Thanks for listening to our bullshit. Please like and subscribe. Don't subscribe too fast because this guy can't count. Leave comments or recommendations. Don't put any numbers in there because again, Andres and numbers are not friends.
Don't put any theories of any shows because this guy can't understand them like Westworld.
I think we got everything.
Oh my God.
I'm Francisco.
And apparently I'm Andres. Or am I?
1.0 or is it 2.0? I don't know. Have a great week, guys.
All right, we'll cut it there. You dick.